you who to vote for. But I'm just telling you, when you make those decisions, leaderships matter because it's going to affect you one way or another. Now, serving Christ, I know my God got me no matter who's in leadership, who's the president, who's the governor, because guess what? My God is the God that sits on the throne above all nations, all countries, all continents. He is that God, and he's a bad somebody. He can do whatever he decides he wants to do because he already knows what's going to happen. He knows the beginning, the end before the beginning. He knows all of this. So you don't have to hide nothing from him, but you do have to treat people with respect that's in leadership. And if you go to a church and the church leader is not doing right, pray for that leader. Don't just immediately dismiss it unless God tells you to. But you got to be careful because some people you know are so corrupt and you sit up under the leadership. But when you do that, guess what? It can corrupt you. You got to think about all those leaders that I named that were bad. The people started doing bad stuff and worshiping idols and doing all kind of bad stuff when they were up under that leadership that was bad. But then when it changed and they get up under the good leadership, guess what? It changed again. So leadership does matter. I know we always have these slogans, this matters and that matters, but leadership does matter. That's in the church, because if that man is mistreating his wife or he's sleeping with all the female parishioners or having an affair, or if he's stealing money from the church, or if he's, drinking heavily, just all kind of things matters. You got to know, and I know we get tied in with the people that we go to church with, and that's awesome because you should have a relationship with them, but you can still leave the church and call them and check on them if God tells you to leave up under that leadership because they ain't right. You hear so many things corrupt with these different ministers and leaders. Come on, y'all. Think for yourself. Don't get caught up trying to live vicariously through these leaders because they got money. How did they get that money? Most time you get to the point where you get a lot of money, like in the billions. You stepped on somebody's toes to get there. And that don't mean it's a bad thing because sometimes people do stuff unaware. But in most cases, people know what they're doing. So pray for your leaders. That's first and foremost. Ask God where you should be under, what leadership you should be under. Get you a mentor to help you go through different things in life that you need. And on your job, make sure your leader on your job is doing right. Because, I know leaders that can corrupt the whole organization based on immaturity, basically what it is. And if you know that that's not right for you, they got people sleeping with people just to get promotions and different things. That's not cool at all. So don't get caught up in the hype trying to get a position and get somewhere because God can open doors that you never saw coming. Just be caught up in what God says in that word. Just be caught up in your prayer life and ask God to lead and direct you. Be caught up in school. If you got to go to school to get to a certain leadership position, do that. But don't do all this stuff everybody else doing just to fit in and say, well, that's how they got it. That's how I'm going to get it. I done got promoted and didn't have to do none of that. So I just know that God works in the best way.